Hey guys, and welcome. I am the Seven Swords, and this is going to be a bit of an odd one. Um, you might think we're right where we were, but we're kind of not. We're kind of in an alternate timeline. Um, basically, I already recorded this episode once. I'm re-recording it because I didn't like the way it came out, but we're gonna have lost some stuff. I had to redo Gallows Rock because my last save was before Gallows Rock, and so we had to redo Gallows Rock. In the original timeline, basically what I did was I went up to um, uh, this shrine to Boethia, and I tried to do Boethia's quest. Remembered I needed a follower. Tried killing all the cultists there to try and force it. Didn't force it. Boethia just told me to do the quest. I ended up finding out about a sword that was over here. I went to try to get it, and basically I started fast traveling all over the place to get the stuff I needed for this sword. I want this sword eventually, but I don't want to do it through fast traveling and stuff like that, and I don't want to go to the Boethius shrine and kill everybody. Um, I basically don't feel like Sarah would. Um, I do feel like she'll go over to check it out. We do have the Boethius calling. Um, we found a book basically, and I'm under the impression she probably read it in some of the time. She must have read it at some point and basically found out, oh, it's there's a shrine of Boethia in that area. Um, maybe Boethia will give her something powerful, and the Bitter Cup is basically pushing her to collect items of power. So it's sent her in this direction. As far as what I did differently for Gallows Rock and everything up to this point, um, I tried to keep it mostly the same. I gave the beggar prayer instead of anything else. Um, I actually had a lot easier time this time killing both the Gallows Rock people and the person. Probably because I was just being like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm just going to go in. Not to mention, I pretty much knew power attacking the silver sword, the silver blades, or the silver hunters, or whatever they're called, was the easiest way to take them down. Basically, power attack them, and then slash them until they get back up, and then power attack them again to knock them back down, and repeat the process about a million times. Um, the main reason I felt like the episode didn't go well, I might put it up, but I might not. I haven't decided yet. Um, but the reason I felt like it didn't go well was because basically I was complaining about the heat the entire time because it was really warm, and I'm actually under the impression that's partially what caused the problem. The heat made it to where I couldn't focus. It made it to where I was having um, trouble staying in character. Not really just because of talking in character, because obviously I've kind of dropped the talking in character since I like the being able to talk to you guys and be able to talk about why I'm doing the things I am and explaining things out of character. But I think it also made it to where like I was just like I just want to get this done. I just want to get this over with, and I don't want that to be my mindset while playing. I want to be able to relax and just run the campaign the way that I'd like to. I don't mind doing a couple of things out of character if it's more interesting, but I don't want to completely throw the character out the window, and I definitely don't want to um, completely throw myself into just using constant what do you call it, fast traveling. Um, I know the last time we came up here, I'm gonna drop a quick save real quick because the last time I came up here and I'm seeing movement. The last time I came up here, I found a scavenger um, taking people's stuff, and no, we got a different one this time.
You there, citizen. This area is off limits. You're interfering with Imperial business. Yeah, so you'll have to pay us a fine. Say, 100 gold. Pay up, citizen.
Um, yeah, I don't think Sarah's falling for this, but I also think Sarah's like, whatever. I just want to get this over with
The,
here.
Emperor thanks you. Now shove off. Rather, have a nice day, citizen.
She just doesn't want to deal with it. She has more than enough money. She doesn't care. Um, she probably would care more if she had more care for the Imperials, but she doesn't. The bitter cup kind of is washing that part of her away because it wasn't something that she really had much care for in the first place. She liked the Empire, but that was because of a personal, just not liking war. Now it's all about that growing strength. And while yes, she could probably defeat them, and yes, they killed innocents, again, not really her problem anymore. Not really what she's worried about. She's kind of focusing on this current thought process in mind. And is this? I swear, it's fine. It's like this fucking call. It's like this freaking fox is pushing me around. I don't know if that cuss came across. If it did, whatever. I usually don't cuss just because it's just not in my person, but they're gonna slip through every once in a while.
Boethiah's faithful. Have you come to test your mettle?
Carve you into pieces.
Who's Boethia?
The Lord of Plots, Deceiver of Nations, Devourer of Trinomac, the Queen of Shadows, Goddess of Destruction, he who destroys, and she who erases. Many are our Lord's lofty names, but they befit only us mortals. Intone her mighty names from now until the end of time. It is for naught. Names mean nothing to our Lord. She only cares for those who care for themselves, whose hearts are full of purpose, whose lives are full of deeds.
I feel like Sarah would probably automatically want to say that her heart is full of purpose and her life is full of deeds, because she has done quite a lot with her life. And I think the cup also would push her to boasting a little bit more.
If you desire a glimpse of our dark mistress, then this is what you must do. First, prove your tongue can wield a lie. Find someone, gain his trust, lead him to the shrine above. Next, instruct your thrall to touch the pillar of sacrifice. Its magic will ensnare him, rendering him helpless. Then, girded with certitude, plant the ceremonial blade deeply, so that the waters of his heart wash over you. If your will is strong enough, it will stir Boethia in her dark mansion, and she will appear before us.
This is your last mistake.
She'll say that she's going to do it, though she probably doesn't plan on it. She probably just doesn't want to fight.
That remains to be seen. But if it is so, and if Boethia appears, then we will welcome you as one of us.
Erebor, guide me!
They're gonna end up killing the cultist.
You can't beat me!
I don't think they can. They're not essential, but
Cleared out. You were weak, now you are dead. What signs have you left of your passing for us to remember you by?
it's a little bit of a messed up
Gain Boethiah's attention, you must slay a
process.
dog upon her shrine.
She probably sees this body over here and sees a journal. His hand on a journal. Ooh, more of this unarmored mage robes of Dunmer make. Neat. Take the potion and then take the journal. I'm not gonna read the journal. I don't have an interest in reading through it. I didn't read it the first time either. I might reread it at some point, but what I will do is I will let you guys read through it if you want. So I will hold a few seconds on each page, just feel to pause and watch and read through it if you would like. I might read it in one of Sarah's things if I think to, but I'm not sure.
An another corpse for the pile.
So we're probably gonna follow this because she's probably interested, but I already know that we're not gonna get Goldbrand today.
What happened?
I could get it if it was in the major settlements. The problem with it is that one of the items is in Iverstead, and getting to Iverstead is not easy. There actually will be a time I allow myself to fast travel. When I will allow myself to fast travel when we get a particular shout, and that shout allows us to basically get a mount that makes sense that it could fast travel. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, um, you'll find out eventually. But right now, I'm not going to go into great detail on it because that is a major spoiler. As far as when we're going to go down that path, let's leave those quote-unquote Imperials be. Really don't want to deal with them. Like I said, Sarah probably knows that they're not actually Imperials. She probably knows they're just bandits pretending to be Imperials to take people's money, but she doesn't care. She's got more than enough money and she doesn't want to deal with it right now, so. Kind of like that bandit watchtower she ran into before. Oh, I forgot I had Vex of Flame on. Nope, that's fine. We'll switch back over to the Ghost Blade and Fire Breath. I am kind of annoyed with how weak my flames still are. When I got that bonus that makes flames more effective. I don't know if that's just I don't know if the problem is that it's not it doesn't work the way I expected it to, or if it's just not as effective as I thought it would be. I am tempted to go back to the College of Winterhold though and see a couple of the teachers about possibly buying better spells, at least better destruction spells, but I'm not planning on doing it right this moment. Last time I was over here, I ran into a large number of I think those are just hunters, but I ran into a large number of zombies the last time I was over here, which is one reason why I'm being a little bit more focused. Probably did not care for these two. They look like bandits, they're dressed like bandits. You probably assumed they might be bandits, so she was just like letting them take what it was. They're actually orc hunters. I don't know if that would have done something if I had interfered with their hunt, or if I had gotten part of it done or something. I don't know. Weird. I thought I was on the Goldbrand quest, but I'm not. I did open up the Guardian Skeever and this Garundrel legend because I was very curious about both of them. The Garundrel legend is the one that we actually did when we came back from our, well, we were supposedly came back from her time off. She didn't take very long time off because I got bored and decided I wanted to keep going. But we might go check that out. The legend is basically for those necklaces we picked up. We're missing one more necklace, and then once we get that necklace, I think there's one more area we have to go to merge the three together to basically make them their final item, which we might go get. I don't know. It's not a very good item, so I don't see it as a very powerful necklace. It's definitely not as good as some of the other necklaces we could get. Here it is. Yes, this is the place. So, the journal apparently pushes us in this direction. She comes over here to check this place out. figure out what this is all about.
What was that? You can't hide from me!
Okay. First things first. Let's get some healing up in here.
I cannot.
Ooh, there goes my health bar. I originally drank through a ton of these potions originally because fighting the cultists at the shrine were like, they were basically slaughtering me because there's so many of them there. Apparently I found a cultist note, so that's a thing. Go look at this note and see what it says. I don't mind reading notes because they're not very long. These mouth breathers don't stand a chance. Once I reclaim Goldbrand and slay them, along with the Lord's champion, Boethia will have no choice but to make me her new chosen one. I have seen it in my dreams, standing over the champion's lifeless body, clutching a gleaming golden katana turning red with the blood of my foes. We must puzzle out the Imperial Scholars' notes and breach the tomb. Then I will have my victory. Okay, then. Sarah probably finds it interesting since a golden katana sounds like a great weapon to have. But it's not that simple. We find this journal, which basically now tells us the information is that we need to get 2 items here, but we have to go to the College of Winterhold to figure out what those items are. Which, that's where we're going to go next, is we're going to go to the College of Winterhold. Haven't gotten to the part of the quest yet that I basically screwed up because I was teleporting all over the place. I don't mind using in-game teleportations, kind of like them with like the Aetherius Mage's Haven, because obviously that makes sense. She's a powerful mage, but I don't like using the fast travel system because it feels more how do I put it? It feels more in-game mechanic-y versus actual, like, a way to how it's done. Also wanted to come back here because I thought, I may be incorrect, but I thought there was something here that I forgot to grab when I came through the originally. Guess not. We must have already grabbed it. There was the stone, the floating stone that was here, because this is another location that has the floating stone. I actually think there's one at the at Yorvasker, but we'll grab that. We'll grab that one later. I don't know if we're gonna get all the stones in this one. I know where a few of them are. I'm not entirely sure where they all are. I have collected them all once, but when I did, it was basically me. I basically collected them by. Oops. I basically collected them by. I installed a mod that told me where they all were. So, wonder if these notes have always been here, or if I have to like, or if I would have to like, or if activating this quest makes them appear here. There's a couple of things that do that.
Your victory, friend.
We
were able to figure out
were you
the
finished
last text
translating?
you brought in. I thought the least I could do is pass the knowledge along.
All right. And it doesn't look like he has anything for me right now,
Well.
although I think I may have already picked up another find this book quest from him. We just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. The next thing we're going to do is probably going to head to Dawnstar. I want to keep the hunting up, and Dawnstar is another location that wouldn't be too difficult to get to from here. And then probably go investigate this legend. I know what it's wanting us to do here. There's a book here that I was looking for when I was there, but I forgot that there was a quest for it, so we never picked it up. But yeah, we got to go here to get this amulet from a Battleborn, and then here to get the remains from this burrow, which we'll get it eventually. I'm not going to warp there, which is why we're not going to be gaining gold brand today. We're probably going to get gold brand in quite a few episodes. Sarah has definitely put it on her list of things she wants to do, but she's not going to run all the way back to Iverstead, since that is not an easy place to get to. What she will do is she will take the Clockwork Castle to go to Dawnstar for the first time. We actually have never been to Dawnstar, so we will be there for a few minutes just to poke around and see what's there. Probably not for super long though, because I know Dawnstar has one quest, but I'm not ready to do that quest yet because it's another situation of I don't feel like she's in the right mindset for that quest, and if she's not in the right mindset for that quest, she'll make the wrong decisions, and we won't get the item from it. It's actually one of the quests that I've done early on before. What is the combat music for? There's a wolf here. Was that what it was? Did they engage the wolf and then...
I wonder if we should not leave Skyrim and ply our trade elsewhere. Goods and wares of all kinds, and all can... So many refuse to talk to us. Take a look.
Check and see what they've got. Probably need to run to Clockwork and do drop off some stuff, but we'll do that in a little bit. Corundum ore. I'm probably going to try and buy some more Corundum ore more often. Grab all these petty soul gems and stuff. And of course the list of their alchemical stuff.
That is not so easy to escape from.
The war, that is not a reason to leave. It is a reason to stay.
And what makes you think that?
Because war is good for business, of course.
Sarah probably doesn't know how to feel about that. War being good for business. It all depends on what business you're in, and I guess business of fighting is definitely something to be considered there. She definitely doesn't like war herself, so not something she's entirely sure on how she feels about it, but she's not going to sit here and yell at Khajiit for their personal opinions on stuff. If they think it's good for business, then that's up to them. Now, this is the Skeever. I do personally think it's kind of funny to think of a Guardian Skeever, but that's also why I'm kind of like nervous about this, because this could either end up being a laugh or this could end up being something of extreme. Never mind. I expected, I'm gonna be honest, I expected better. I'm a little surprised it was, really? Knock it off. Activate pedestal. Nope, I can't activate pedestal, so apparently whatever I need for this, I don't have. Let's see. What are we gonna do next? It wants us to return to Furky, which means we'd have to travel all the way south to Furky's shack again, which would mean we'd have to go near Iverstead. There's pretty much no way to get there quickly or easily. So, I'm a little bit... Ancient's Ascent. I think that was the thing. We could always go do the Ember Shard Mine. But we should probably go do this investigating the legends. So we'll head west. As far as Furky goes, we'll go see him when she's in that area again. It's the one thing I'm not a big fan of with Skyrim. Like, without being able to fast travel, you realize how disconnected all of Skyrim really feels. And don't get me wrong, that's not a bad thing in some games. In some games it would be nice to have a bit of disconnect to make the world feel basically bigger. The problem I run into is looking for Rise of Magica, because I don't feel like heading back to... Well, I was going to say I don't feel like heading back home, but literally it's just a teleportation away, so I really should put it off. We're going to teleport back to... Real quick. I mentioned this in the cut episode. I'm trying to have her keep the Ring of Hearsing on, because I want her to be... It's not that I think that she's getting to the point of worshipping Hearsing. I think it's just the point of wearing it for, like, she's hoping that it keeps her transformations under control. That is not the case in game. Even if I took off the ring, I would not be forced to transform. Lore-wise, it seems like it's supposed to be that it's because I have the companion's werewolf curse, which is basically different from a lot of the other ones. Each werewolf curse is slightly different. There are also different vampire curses and stuff like that. But basically, the werewolf curse basically gives me... way the werewolf curse works for the companions is that I have basically full control over my transformation from the start. But I don't know if she would know that. I think that she would just feel... Oops. I think she would just feel compelled to keep the ring on. Not to mention that, but she's also, like, following Lord Hearsing. So she wants to believe that wearing the ring is correct. I really need her to get to a point, though, that she can reuse her transformation, because I do want her to use her transformation so that she can increase the power of it. Which the only way to do that is to kill people in the transformation and then eat their bodies.
We need to find our way to Solitude.
Why are we even going to a wedding at this far-flung end of the Empire, anyway?
I like how many times we see them. Like, I don't know if they stop spawning after the wedding. There is a way to do the wedding. It's part of another questline that we may do eventually. But I always think it's funny that you see them all the time, because it's like they're all over Skyrim, and like but they never... But it seems like they don't reach Solitude until the wedding. And I don't even know if you see them at the wedding, so I don't even know if they make it to the wedding. Could have sworn I thought I heard a wolf. Oh. Another burnt down house. Anything of use? Corpse. Another burnt corpse. Anything useful on it? A little bit of gold. She probably automatically assumes it was a dragon attack. That's what I assume, is that it's either a dragon attack or there's always the possibility that it is something like they were trying to do something with a fire spell or something like that. Trying to like see if there's anything that would like lead me to that belief. That's why I checked both of them. I thought maybe they'd have like a scroll of firestorm or something on them. Because there are some things like that in Skyrim. Not many, though. Oh. Another, burrow. Or barrow, or whatever you call it. And I'm guessing vampires, because I'm seeing somebody resurrect something. So I automatically assume vampire. Nope, just a bunch of bandits. Oh wait, no, a necromancer, so the bandits were probably meant to be thralls. That's the grove discovered. Yeah, I'm not surprised I can't read it. I'm trying to decide if I want to go into this one. I'm pretty sure it's just going to end up being a, I can't go very far dungeon. Because it's going to be one of those, it's a, probably going to be a quest dungeon. Because I think I might even know which quest this is. One that, again, we won't do for quite some time, but we might do eventually. If I remember correctly, this is part of the Thieves Guild. Although I'm starting to think that with all these dead bodies and that necromancer outside, it might be something a little different. I don't know. We're going to find out. Because if it is what I think it is, we'll get to a certain point and we won't be able to continue. And I should remember some of the dungeon. Can't tell if this is a fight going on or what's going on here, because... Oops. Really? Okay, where'd the other one go? Were they fighting each other and died? Necromage. I feel as though I was right. I may not have been. If I was right, then we'll get to the door and there won't be a... I think my master level robes are better than these expert. Let's see, my master does 22 and that one did like 50. Did like 20. Here we go. 20 and 25. Yeah. My master are much stronger. I had a feeling that was the case, but I just wanted to make sure. Oh, no. We won't even get that far. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a quest dungeon. Again, I find it kind of annoying in Skyrim how you can run into these all the time. And it's like, well, okay, I guess I can't do anything here. Guess I have to leave. That's like, well, really? That's a big letdown. I mean, it's like, unless you play the game, like when you first go through the game, you probably get to a couple of these and are like, really? This doesn't seem very, very big and very interesting, and like, what a letdown. And then you come back later with the quest, and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's a quest. Oh, okay. Then it's like you have to spend the entire time. You then have to like learn to like be okay with like getting partway in and then can't move forward because quest. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that's one of the... I think that's the Thieves Guild quest. If I didn't mention that before, I will now. Um, but let's keep moving. We're almost to the spot where the thing is. I'm pretty sure this will give us a book. And that book will point us to the last necklace. The funny part about it is I'm pretty sure you can find any of the necklaces first. You don't have to find the one in Zarthal first, which is where we found it, and well, I think I'm actually still losing health. Like I was, but I seem like I'm fine now. Didn't I already get this stone? Didn't we get it last time we were here? Not entirely sure, so we're gonna go swing by it just to make sure. I like finding all of the standing stones, just so I know where they all are. I think we're currently on the Lover's Stone, which gives us increased health, magicka, and stamina regeneration. Which, I have got to say that I'm starting to realize, like, my health regeneration is pretty sure non-existent. And I don't know if that's supposed to be a thing or not. It's not a major issue to me. We already discovered this one. Nope. The Apprentice, which I'm pretty sure does magicka regen. Those under the Apprentice sign recover magicka faster, but are more susceptible to magicka damage. Yeah. Pretty useful because of the magical regen. If I was still doing a pure mage build with Sarah, that might be really useful. But it also makes it really hard for you to fight against other mages. So, possible gains and possible losses. One way to counteract it is to get a lot of artifacts that decrease magicka damage. And get some, like, magical absorption going. Because then you can get a little bit of the buff, but you can get the buff, but without as bad of a negative. Keep picking up all these death spells. I'm gonna be able to use them to make poisons later. Alright, let's see, where are we? Like I said, I think we came here before, because I think this is where we got the second necklace. But apparently we missed this book, which now gives us the last area to search for the necklace. Which, learn the truth from... Oh, apparently no, we have to go to Whiterun to learn the truth from someone. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Yeah, we've got time. Oops. Probably doesn't have a huge interest in finding these necklaces, so she's probably just doing this for the gain of power. The problem that I have with it, though, is, like I said before, it's not a very good necklace, all things considered. I wouldn't... Where is this one leading me? Obtain Sarah's amulet from the last Battleborn. Really? Oh, learn the truth about... Why does this let me go this way? There's no way it could get me, that this could get me there. I'm probably just gonna get off track because of this, but I am mildly confused. Is it in a bookcase? Aha, it is. So there's a book that apparently has to do with this. This one? Oh, wow. Okay. So there's probably 2 copies of this book. And I had a chance of going and getting the other copy, but I have this copy. Now we have them. Okay. Now we need to check the map again to see where the last... Because now this tells me where the last one is. Oh wow. It really wants me to go back to Iverstead. Got a lot of other things in this actually, in this area. Yeah. Yeah, we could go back to Iverstead. Probably go back to Iverstead, then hang down here, go to the Emberhard Mine, and then back to Falkreath. Even go see Folky while we're there. Okay, so Whiterun it is. But like this area is a big area to get to. That's a really pain in the rear because we could go to Riften and walk from Riften. Well, actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's go to Riften and go from Riften because we have the Riften Watchtower, which has something we're supposed to go get. We have a couple of other things we're supposed to go get. So one reason why I wish the way you could do it is you could have it be that the most closest quest is the active quest, because then I'd be able to sit there and be like, I could figure out where I'm supposed to go for like what quest I'm doing next. So let's head for the Riften Watchtower. And then we'll go from there to Iverstead to get the remains and find the thing. I can't believe I forgot that that amulet was there.
Working at the Riften Fishery is tough, but it puts some coin in my pocket.
That's kind of like why the Bitter Cup idea of it attracted to power doesn't really work, because like, wouldn't it have known that the necklace was there and that we were so close to having all 3 of them? But it's like, oh, maybe it's because of the fact that it doesn't have maybe it's because it can only detect certain power at certain time or something like that. It also gets to a certain point of like, there's a certain point that I have to like start saying that it's not going to be all in character. There are some things I'm going to want to do as a player, and I'm not going to prevent myself from doing it just because the character wouldn't. I'll usually find a way to make the character be okay with doing it. Oh, what the? Holy crap, suddenly bears. And wolves. Holy moly, all of the wildlife. Could use Kind's Peace, but that's just not going to work for me right now. Ah. Eesh. I was expecting a single bear, not suddenly every bear in the known universe. Which I also know wasn't the case, but still. Dear Lord. But that's the end of this episode. I'm just going to go ahead and continue into the next episode, but I will be saving so that just in case the next episode ends up badly, I can just go back to the save instead of having to redo this entire episode. But I will see you guys in the next one after we kill these spiders, because apparently all of the wildlife wants to be dead. See you guys in the next one.